What's up, everybody? Can you, I'm testing out some headphones today, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work or if it's going to work at all. But, can you put a one in the chat if you can hear me just fine and all is good? Well, I definitely can't hear nothing in my headphones. I'm muffled. Is that better? Um, Actually, I don't have any tabs open. Maybe it's picking up the TV, babe? Huh? Is that better? Yeah, I don't have any YouTube tabs open. Not even on my laptop. I just got StreamYard open. Turn mic down maybe. Is that better? Is that better? You are a natural. Thanks, Char. Vika, hello, sweetheart. How are you? Um, well, I, I'm not sure if these are working or not. Don't really think they are. I can just hear them beeping. That's about it. But um, Char, Lika, I dropped my StreamYard link there in the chat if one of you want to come up, that'd be great. I'd like to continue the conversation that Charlotte's Webbing and I started yesterday, the day before. But you know, uh, so for the few of us that are here, I know, but I'll get you to come up at some point in time, Lika. You don't have to show your face, but like you're gonna want to come up on my channel at some point in time. I'm telling you, sweetheart. All the cool kids are doing it, Lika. All the cool kids are coming up and saying hi, and don't have to show their faces. And so, if you want to be one of the cool kids, Lika, you're gonna have to come up at some point in time and say hi to everybody. I'm just saying. Oh, I'll get you to come up. I'll get you to come up sometime. So, for anybody who hasn't seen any of my videos before, what's up, Outlaw Trucker? So, for anybody who has not seen any of my videos before or who hasn't caught one of my live streams before, this is Get to Know. This is Get to Know. This is a sexual abuse awareness channel. This is Get to Know _stop. This stands for Stand Tough on Pedophilia. We need to, this channel's focus is to be here for support for people, whether you've been abused or you know somebody who has been abused. Um, we're here to, we're here to hopefully make a push to make changes to the laws and penalties that govern these crimes. Um, to punishments that will like kind of really force these parasites to want to quit sexually abusing children. Um, I'm a firm believer in if you make the penalty for a crime so severe that you may lose your life over it, it's going to deter a lot of people from wanting to touch kids, man. I'm telling you. So that's what this channel is about. This channel is not about bashing other creators. It's not about drama and bullshit. This, even though this is a YouTube channel on YouTube, this channel doesn't get caught up in all the YouTube street bullshit. Um, every creator, every creator on YouTube is welcome here. Every community on YouTube is welcome here because we only get stronger and we make our goals more reachable and easier to accomplish with the more people we have. So I don't care who you are, as long as you're not a parasite and you don't support pedophilia, you're welcome here. But my moderators know that you'll be given one warning to not be talking shit about anybody and putting anybody down. You'll be given one warning, then you'll be hidden on the second warning. Third strike three, you're fucking out. We don't play games. We don't have time for that shit. There's too many innocent children getting violated and too many children getting hurt to be fucking around with people who just want to be assholes and drop porn bombs and just talk shit on other creators. And that's not what this channel is for. There's plenty of other fucking channels out there on YouTube that are perfect for you guys to go to and talk shit about whoever you want. Make yourself feel like you got a big old cojones, you know? Like, make yourself feel like big old bad powerful bitches because you can talk shit on people. So you can go there and do that. But when you're here, we focus on the real true problem at hand, and that's pedophilia in the United States and throughout the country. For those of you that don't know, I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse from the age of just before I turned 5 until just before I started, or just as I started growing pubic hair, so right before I turned 11, 12. My wife is also a survivor, and I try to stay away from that word survivor because I was a survivor 20 years ago. So my wife and I, we personally went from victims to survivors to warriors, and now we're just straight savages because we're not going to let anybody get in our way. We're not going to let anybody's bullshit bring us down. We're not going to let any pedophile shut this channel down. We are out here for the greater good of the future of our innocent children, and nothing, and I mean absolutely fucking nothing, is going to stop us from continually doing what we do. That's it. So everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. As long as you mind your manners. Just like I said, this isn't just a second, Richard. This isn't a channel to come talk shit about other creators. This channel is about making a positive difference in this world, and that's what we do here. So, I'm not sure how to put up a screen, but Richard, you got to show me your face first before I let you up, bro. You know what I mean? So, hell with it. I don't know why. I trust you, bro. So we'll see how it goes.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going down, bro? How you
What's up,
doing,
brother?
man?
I'm
Just
surviving, dude. I'm living,
hey,
you know.
man. Same here, bro. Just living, just living. Hey, yeah. Actually, man. Hey, this is me right here, dude. So it's all good, dude.
No, you're all
I'm
good.
all,
I trust. I
yeah.
trust, man. I just got
That's
porn
all.
bomb. I just got porn bomb a couple weeks ago by some dude. I just let. I was excited to have people up on my panel. So
That's all
listen,
good, man.
but you know what I mean. So, but
Yeah, man.
yeah, I'm like, if I haven't seen you in other chats and stuff before, and I don't know you, you know, like I kind of. I mean, we kind of chatted in Rosa chat and shit before. So, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I
It's all cool, man.
kind of feel like I know you a little bit, you know. So I kind of, I trust you. So tell us your story, Richard. What's up, man?
You mean my whole life story? Nah, dude. I mean, we can
Okay.
talk and everything, though. I
Are,
mean,
are are you a survivor of childhood sex abuse, or were you a lucky child that get through childhood without being sexually abused?
well, actually, I never had that, happen to me, man. But I was actually, as a youngster, I was, bullied and stuff in school, because of my, my speech problem and stuff, growing up and everything. But it was hard to overcome that, but I'm still
Well,
here, man.
well. What are some of the things like I was sexually abused from the time I was 5 until I was almost 12, and
Dang, bro.
I was bullied. I was bullied during that same process. Like I tried unaliving myself for the first time when I was 9. Uh, four failed attempts at suicide myself by the time I was 17. I was bullied up until I was bullied and picked on up until high school and shit. And like, how did
Yeah, so
I
was
mean?
I, man.
So how did you survive? And like that's like there's not enough men that come out about being sexually abused or being
Or bullied.
bullied or picked on or like and I know damn good and well that there um that there's a lot of men out there that have been sexually abused and
Oh
have
yeah.
that don't reach out, that don't speak out. So, I this was totally not uh this is not something that we scheduled to do. This is totally random that you're up here talking about this. So if you don't want to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Nah, man, it's
If
all good, bro.
so, I just gotta say, if you don't want to talk about it, I won't push you. Um so, let's have a discussion on how the hell you as a man, as a child growing up, being bullied and into young adulthood, and into the man you are now. How did you get through this shit? What did you do to help get you through it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh well. Actually, what helped me was hanging around older people when I was like in my teens, and they were like like 19, in college and stuff. So like I hung around them because they were more older and more mature and stuff, and and the
Yeah.
same thing uh with the ladies too, because back in my days, you know what, all the girls laughed at me, because of my speech problem, my weight problem. But when I, hung out with older people and shit, they actually told me, hey, Rich, you know what, man, this is who you are, man. You know what I mean? So like, so I had to like, just just pretty much man up a bit, if that makes any sense. But then again, it's like they just actually help me out, man. Just deal with look, this is who I am, right? I mean, shit. The way I was talking and everything,
Right.
it's all broken up at times, man. But but hey, man, it's like
I couldn't tell the
and
exact. I couldn't tell you
yeah,
the speech problem.
yeah, and also what helped me out too was going to work. Because you know what, back in the days, man, like the 1990s and shit, like all these bars, that I worked at. See, all of that, help, work, right? And at the barn stuff, I had to talk to all kinds of people, man. So that actually made me more, comfortable, man. You know, uh, with myself and everything. Speak out and stuff.
Right.
So that's pretty much what helped me out the most, dude. Was just, hey, man, just be yourself, and you know what? If I gotta pause at times with a word, I'm sorry about that, but hey,
Yeah.
it's all good though, man.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, so and then hanging out with people, and playing pool, playing arcade games back then. Uh, just socializing, man, and not be afraid, to speak up and everything. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
like
man.
I wish I wish that I would have had the courage slash knowledge slash whatever the fuck you want to call it to say something about the abuse that I was going through, but I didn't tell anybody until I was 17 years old about my abuse.
All right.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
anytime that I hear a story about a child coming forward and telling one of their parents about either their parent abusing them or their cousin, or anytime a child comes up and speaks up about their abuse at a young age, it instantly melts my heart, and they become my hero, because I wish I would have had the courage to do it myself, but I didn't know any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because of fear, right? Fear. It's
Yeah.
all fear, right? Yeah, fear. Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, because actually there's actually some female friends who I've known for many years, and some of them, they're older than me, and a lot of them, not all of them, but they still have bad flashbacks of being sexually abused at a very young age, and it was always somebody that they actually knew personally.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And also, I don't mean to bring this up, but also the ones who had a rape baby. I don't want to with the whole thing with the abortion topic, but there are a lot of women who I have known, bro, in my life who actually kept the baby because they did not believe in the abortion, and that kid, bro, became a good person, bro. Hey,
yeah,
you know what? They went to school and everything, man, and look, you know what? They may look like their father and shit, but hey, man, that kid, man, grew up to be somebody who was a good person, man.
yeah, yeah. I know kids like that myself. Just because a child is a child of rape or incest doesn't make that child a bad child. Like,
That's true, man.
I don't give a shit what anybody says, and like, I'm not the world's most toughest man, but I'll knock any motherfucker out that wants to say differently. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah,
want to say
man.
every rape child or every child of incest is a bad seed. Well, you're a piece of shit, and you should probably get your fucking teeth knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yep, bro. Yeah. I agree with that right there, man.
Oh yeah. So you've kind of got the idea of what this channel is about, and
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think it's going to take for our country to get together and actually make these penalties for these crimes these parasites are committing against our children? What's it going to take for us to make a positive impact and cutting down the number of pedophiles in this country? Like, what's it going to have to get pushed to make a difference? Because obviously, what we're doing right now is not fucking working.
Yeah, hey man, that's a very good point you made, and you know what though, the way I see it, man, is like, you know what, they give these people, right, these pedophiles, whether they're men or the women, right, they give them like just a few years, right, just a few years, and then they're right back out again, like,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then look, you know what, maybe it is this whole left this liberal agenda shit, which I think that what has a lot to do you know um do with it. But the way I see it, yes, you know what, this is America and everything, and everyone is innocent, right, at first, right,
Yep.
until proven guilty and shit. But look, in my opinion, if you harm a child or just a kid, right, or with abuse, or with sexual
Right.
abuse, that person does not deserve to live. Just nah, man. You know what? That that person is fucking sick. They're fucking evil, man. And you know what? There should be harder laws on those fucking people, man.
Yes, indeed. Now, see,
But there's not though.
yeah, there's not,
No, there's not.
and I mean, I got my own personal opinions on why I believe it is the way it is, and these crimes are like just these little, these, I guess scatterbrain sometimes. Sorry, man.
That's all right, man.
These crimes, like they're lifelong detrimental to anybody that it happens to. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what kind of abuse it is. Like these motherfuckers are receiving these sentences that like from these judges and these prosecuting attorneys, and they don't care, because they're more than likely the people that are in position of power to make these penalties for these laws are more than likely parasites themselves. And I mean, if you're in a position of power to make penalties for crimes that you commit and break law and laws that you break, are you going to make it so if you get caught doing it, you're going to go to prison for the rest of your fucking life? No, you're going to make it so you get on slap on the fucking hand and you get your job back. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's true, man.
So most of these people that are in, anybody that's in position of power to make the penalties for these crimes, that would agree to these light ass sentences, it's self-explanatory. You're a fucking parasite. It's the only thing I can come up with, because if you're not going to agree to, okay, this dude, this parasite standing in court today, and he's violated 30 children in his life. Let's give him 5 years in prison. You're not going to make that penalty for that, for it to be that light. You know what I mean? If you disagree with these actions, you're going to make the penalties way stricter. Like my brother-in-law recently, well, it's been about a year and a half ago now, but he recently got picked up for drug trafficking. Okay. And he was trafficking in a lot of drugs. And on his sentencing day, we was in the federal courthouse, and the judge passed sentence on him. And he looked at my brother-in-law, and he goes, "Mr. So-and-so, if it wouldn't have been 25 years since your last drug charge, I would put you away for the rest of your life in prison." But he didn't. He only gave him 26 years fixed in federal prison, and then he got sentenced to 5 more years in state prison after that. So he's got 31 years for drug trafficking, And the fucking parasite that was in court that was sentenced right before him, he was on his 5th trip back to prison for lewd and lascivious acts and distribution of child pornography. And they gave the motherfucker, guess how long?
How much?
5
5
years.
years?
5 fucking years. And he literally fucking destroyed at least 5 children's lives. You know what I mean? And he's done a total of like 15 years in his whole entire life for destroying children's lives over and over again. And my brother-in-law is sitting in prison right now and will probably die in prison for selling drugs.
Damn,
I'm not condoning drug trafficking because, you know, it's not okay. It's not okay. I mean, I'm a recovering addict myself. I know all the ins and outs of all the shit. And when a person that sells drugs to a full-grown to the majority of full-grown fucking adult people, adults who make their own conscientious choices to buy these fucking drugs, goes to prison and does more time than a fucking 5-time registered pedophile, there's something wrong with that shit, man.
I agree with that, man. Yep.
There's something fucking wrong with that.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Hey, and also, what was that one actor's name? Corey Feldman. Remember him?
Corey Feldman. Yep.
Remember
Corey,
how he?
Corey,
Yeah.
Corey
Yeah. He actually exposed Hollywood how there's a bunch of pedophilia in there.
Oh yeah.
And it's been going on for decades, bro. Decades and shit.
Well, you know the American movie, Christmas movie classic, Christmas Story, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know Ralphie, the kid who shoots his eye out with red right. He's one of the most disgusting, disturbed pedophiles in Hollywood today.
No shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like legitimately,
Wow.
like legitimately, and
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he even came out when all the shit with what's his name, the one that died and who committed suicide in jail, but people don't think he died in jail, and yeah.
I'm not talking about.
Yeah, his own pedophile and all that shit. He even the kid that played Ralphie in that movie legitimately said that he was passed around. He was passed around like pork chop from this person to this director. Like Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple was one of the most, probably one of the most sexually abused children star actors in Hollywood up to date, and I almost guarantee that.
I believe it, man.
Like,
especially
it's
like nowadays, man. It's like, and I mean, and then also like, look, I mean, I don't mean to bash this group, but the whole LGB,
the LGBTQ,
yeah. Look, let them do their own shit, man. But look, I don't like the fact how they push their whole agenda on the kids nowadays, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fucking wrong, man.
Yep, I agree with you, and I don't get me wrong, because look, I'm a full-grown adult. I get to make the choices I want to make for myself, and I believe that every human being that has a conscious mind that can make logical decisions for themselves have the right to do and support whatever the fuck they want. And if you want to identify as a motherfucking broom, identify as a broom. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. But I do not agree with it, with all that kind of second-handed agenda shit being forced on our children either. I don't. Like, if you want to be homosexual, be a homosexual. That's all good. I don't care. It doesn't bother me, man. To each their own. You know what I mean? Spread your wings and fly all you want to. I don't give a shit. If you want to be transgender, be transgendered. But I don't need to know that you used to have a fucking pecker and now you got a fucking a fake vagina hole. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know that. Like, why do I have to be forced to know that you were transgendered or you know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Like if I'm standing next to somebody in a bathroom and I'm taking a piss at a urinal, and a person comes up next to me and takes a piss standing next to me as a man that used to be a woman, I don't need to fucking know she used to be a woman. Like if he's standing there taking a piss next to me, that's a dude to me. That's all. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't give a shit. You know. And I'm sure
That's true, man.
I'm sure I'll catch some shit over saying what I just said, but I don't care
Well,
because that's not because I'm not prejudiced, I'm not racist, I'm not discriminatory, unless it's pedophiles. Pedophiles are the only fucking people on this planet that I don't give a fuck about. That's it. You know, so I mean,
preach, bro, preach.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, to each
No, man, you're right, dude. You're right, dude. I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, man, dude. That's some good feedback, man. That's true, man.
I just wish more people had the balls, the courage to say the kind of shit that I say. You know what I mean? Like I don't let people dictate who I'm going to be. Like I don't let people force their agendas onto my kids. Like my kids know my beliefs and how I feel, and I believe what the Bible says for the most part. And you know, when it says man shall not lay with man nor beast, I mean that says it straight up right there. I mean, it's plain and simple. Like if you are of the same sex and you're laying with the same sex, or you're laying with something that has 4 fucking legs, you're doing something really fucking wrong according to the laws of God. So
yeah,
to each their own. And I'm just saying I'm not passing judgment. I wouldn't want to pass judgment on anybody because I'm going to face my own judgment myself, and you know, I will deal with my shit. And I just hope that people really get to the point to where it's not where they don't have to force what they feel on people. Like I remember when people used to go, like when I was back in elementary school and shit, like I remember people saying, you know, like I remember this one kid, his name was Donnie Marshall, and he literally, like I got in a fight with this kid. We fought pretty good because he's like, your mama wears combat boots. Like, you know what I mean? Like yeah. That's an insult. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? So now it's like I have to now, in order for me to walk into a fucking public bathroom, I have to look at the sign and determine whether it's a male, a female, a he, she, them, they, him, it, them, she, her, it, brush, broom. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's wrong. Like, there's, yeah, this shit gets me going. I tell you what, it gets me going. But, you know, and back a while ago, since we were talking about the LGBTQ community, back a while ago, there, believe it or not, there's actual groups in the United States and throughout the world that push for a pedophilic agenda, to push for the normalization and legalization of pedophilia. And for a while, they were trying to align with the LGBTQ community, and they were wanting to add a P at the end of the LGBTQ. They wanted LGBTQ and P for pedophilia. And why? Because it's a special kind of love. And who are you to tell me who I can and can't love? Just because I love a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, why is that wrong?
That's crossing the line right there.
Yep, sure is, man.
And that's no bullshit. Like I know, and I know what I'm talking about. I've done so much research into this problem in this area. I've probably got just about more knowledge than just about anybody else when it comes to this shit.
No, you're right. It is a big problem because of here's how it all started. Because the government laid a lot of stuff. When the internet and all that came out, it was supposed to be good, but now then they let all the porn sites and everything out there, and then they just literally destroyed life itself.
I think what really just like there's always going to be porn in the world. It doesn't matter whether it's on the internet or on a VHS tape or on the fucking reel to reel. There's always going to be porn. I mean, they have little clickers back in the fucking day that took a penny and you just turn the fucking crank and just flip pictures, of people having sex. So there's always going to be pornographic shit in the world. I think what happened is parents quit participating in their children's lives as much. Like, here's your phone, here's your computer, go to your room, and that's that. As long as you're in your room, I know you're okay. And what are your kids doing in their fucking rooms, man? Like every 2 minutes in this country, a child is being prepared to be humanly and sex trafficked in this country. Every 2 fucking minutes, a child is being prepared and heavily sought after to be trafficked in this country.
Yep.
That's a fucking problem.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is this, man. What is never hardly ever spoken of. I was on this one live panel about 2 years ago, right? And there was this guy who was on there, and he showed all the facts, and all this shit, on the screen with his laptop, and you know what? As much as it's sick, it's actually true. It's called the age of consent laws, right? There are states where if she's 16, it's legal to actually, hook up with her. And man, dude, we had this huge debate, man, on this panel. There was probably about 11 of us on there, and one thing I said, look, just because it's legal, it doesn't make it right, man. Because look, I don't have no kids at all. But look, if I have right, a 15-year-old girl, right, my daughter, I would have a problem if a guy's like almost fucking 30 years old, bro. You know what? Trying to hook up with her. Fuck that shit, right? I want to fucking, hit that fucker up, bro. You know what I mean?
Like I'm gonna pull out the fucking Mossberg and I'm gonna fucking dig a hole.
Yeah, but look, but there are laws like that in states where they have the age of consent laws, which to me is fucking disgusting.
It's putrid. It's
shit. I was like, what the fuck?
It makes my stomach turn.
When I heard that, man, dude, I was like, are you serious, man? And dude, this guy put all the fucking, I'm sorry about that, but and I was like, man, dude, man, that is just sick, man.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. If you want to go back on the books, I did read this on the old law books that females are of age as an adult of near 15, and males are actually considered an adult by 17. It is on the books.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's true.
But
that's some crazy ass shit, though, man.
Yeah, like my parents, my dad's 11 years, 11 months, and 11 days older than my mom. Okay, and my dad got my mom pregnant when she was 17. Does that make my dad a disgusting man? I don't think so. But
hey, well, look, my great grandma, right? Mm-hmm. She was married at 15, right? And her husband was like in his mid-20s. But look, that was way back in the days, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was way back then. Yeah.
Like my dad's 73, so don't be thinking that this just happened.
Yeah.
My dad's 73, so
See, my aunt and uncle, they were like 12 years apart when they got married.
Oh, and also who else married a youngster? What's his name?
Jimbo?
Elvis Presley.
Oh, Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley married what's her name? Priscilla Presley. And shit, man, she was what, like in high school or something like that?
Yeah.
She was 15, and who else married a young one? Jerry Lee Lewis, who was actually his second cousin that he married.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
goodness gracious, great balls of fire, baby. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, I do understand.
So it goes way back, though.
Yeah,
You know.
like yeah, that's fucking eons ago. I mean, that's almost 30 years before like my dad. Like I said, my dad's 73. I'm 43, so
Yeah,
I
back
mean,
in the 1920s.
Yep. Yep. So there's a case that I covered a couple weeks ago, about a week or so ago, on this channel, and it was about two high-ranking male members of the LGBTQ community who had adopted two kids, two boys, and they got busted for raping and molesting, videotaping, and legitimately pimping these boys out to members of their community, because somebody seen one of the parasites downloading child porn on his laptop, so they turned him in. Out of all these charges, like the story that I read and the research I did, there were hundreds of videotapes of these children being assaulted by their dads, friends, by strangers. And they're only facing, get this, they're only facing 7 charges that have anything to do with sexual abuse or solicitation of a minor, any of that shit. Okay.
Child sex trade.
But since they were making money off of their videos, the feds stepped in and charged them with 17 counts of violations of the RICO Act. Now, let me see. All these two kids who were adopted from a special needs Christian group were adopted by these two high-ranking members of the LGBTQ community. For years, were being passed around as sex toys. And the biggest thing the federal government gets pissed off about and charges them with is violations of the RICO Act. What's the RICO Act entail? Because the fucking government didn't get a certain fucking amount of money that they made, that these fucking parasites made off of off this voyeurism and this exploitation and legitimately the pimping out of their children. Since the federal government, since they didn't claim the right amount of taxes on the money they made from that, they're being charged with more violations of the RICO Act than they are of violating these children. Now, what's the fucking problem with that picture?
That's sick.
Damn, man.
What's the problem with that picture?
Problem is with our government and the laws.
Exactly. Now see, I'm a firm believer that desperate times call for desperate measures, okay? There's a country in the world. It's been years since I looked it up. It might not be this way anymore, but at the time I looked it up, they were the #1 country for deaths from DUI. Okay. So their government got together, their communities got together and said, okay, enough's enough. We've had enough of burying all of our kids, our loved ones, because fucking people want to come out here and get drunk. So what did they do? They literally made it so if you got pulled over and you were suspected of a DUI, they gave you a breathalyzer test, and if you blew any amount of fucking of alcohol, guess what the penalty was? Execution on the spot. Execution on the spot.
Really?
Damn, for a DUI? Shit.
For a DUI, because they legitimately, like, there were thousands and thousands of people being killed a year from DUI, and they legitimately had enough of this problem. Now, do I think DUIs are worse than pedophilia? No, I don't. I mean, you know what I mean? But if a country's going to make it so if you get caught drinking and driving, you will be executed. Guess how many DUIs they had over a course of like a 30-year time span?
0.
0. If somebody
Wow.
came to me and said, okay, if you get caught smoking that blunt ever in your life, we're going to blow your fucking brains out on the spot. Guess what I would never fucking do again?
Blaze weed again.
I mean, is me smoking that blunt worth me getting my fucking brains blown out and executed? Fuck no. So I'm a firm believer that desperate times call for desperate measures. So if you make the penalty for most of these sex crimes, because do I think that somebody that takes a leak in the park should have to register as a sex offender? No, because there was no sexual misconduct. He was,
exactly.
Indecent exposure doesn't always amount to sexual abuse.
No.
So and it happens and it sucks. It happens, but that's the way, that's the way things work. But if you made it so if you get caught with any amount of child porn on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, on anywhere, you will be executed on the spot. How many motherfucking people do you think would instantly stop doing what they did to children?
Probably many, but there probably be still some that will try to do it to get away with it.
Oh no, there wouldn't probably be. I guarantee there would be a lot of them. Oh, I can get away with it. Until they start getting caught and they started actually carrying out the sentences and executing these motherfuckers.
Yep.
People are
to wake them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know that what I'm fighting for on my channel. I know that the end result will never be eradicated, pedophilia fully eradicated, because unfortunately, as long as man lives, I unfortunately feel that pedophilia will always be a part of human society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that this is not a 100% winnable cause and a winnable battle.
In Hollywood too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Hollywood, especially in Hollywood.
Yep. So not only do I feel like it's, I know that we will never fully eradicate it, but we can make one hell of a fucking difference in a lot of fucking innocent children's lives. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
That's for goddamn sure.
Mm-hmm.
And for me being sexually abused to going through my adult life, most of the people that I know that are drug addicts, the majority of them have been sexually abused at one point in time in their life, whether it be at a young age or, teens or just at some time. But the one thing that I found that 99% of anybody who has ever been sexually violated in their life have in common is at some point in time after that abuse happened, they turned to drugs.
Yeah. Yep.
So people are like, well, we got all these fucking drug addicts in this country, Well, why are there so many fucking drug addicts in this country? When you could take and line up 100 fucking people, male and female, and see all of them drug addicts, and I guarantee you 90% of them are going to be a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, rape,
or
whatever.
verbal abuse, to bullying, to all of it.
Yep. So I can't ever remember, but I don't remember if it was Barbara Bush or Nancy Reagan that started the war on drugs. Now,
Nancy Reagan.
I don't remember.
I think it was Nancy Reagan that started all that.
Yeah.
Just say no to drugs. Yeah.
So whichever first lady it was that started that.
It was Nancy Reagan.
Okay, so Nancy Reagan started the war on drugs, and I think our country fucked up right there from the very beginning. Like they should have took 80% of the resources that they dedicated to the war on drugs and stuck it into pedophilia, and created a department and a special task force to head up fighting pedophilia. Because if you start eliminating pedophiles in this country, you in turn turn around and start eliminating future drug addicts in this country. So if they would have taken most of the resources that they invested into the war on drugs and declared a war on pedophilia, I think our country would be in a lot better shape. You know what I mean? Like if you can link sexual abuse to the majority of drug abusers' abuse, seems like to me maybe you should.
Yeah, I know where you're going, but it's just the thing of it is we need to wake up the state government and all the way up to the federal government to wake them up to see it too. But if without them seeing it, we ain't gonna get anywhere positive or any good to come out of this.
Well, right. So that's why I created this channel. That's why I do what I do, because people might not believe it or whatever, but I'm a slow growing channel. I've got 169 subscribers on my channel now, but I can tell you right now that that's 169 people that have got some kind of information, some kind of awareness, some kind of something to pass on into the world. And when I go from 169 to 175 to 185 to 300, however the hell big the channel gets,
it'll grow slowly.
With every individual person that is in this community, we only get stronger and we only become more of a force to be reckoned with. If all of us, if there's 100,000 of us fucking people standing there screaming at the top of our lungs for our fucking government to make changes to this shit, they're gonna have to listen. But 150 of us won't be able to get any kind of, whether it's our local government, our state government, our federal government, won't be able to get any government to even acknowledge us, because 100 people is not that many voices in their eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing to them. So legitimately, like, push this channel. I don't care who they are, as long as you're not a pedophile and you don't support pedophilia. I don't care. Come here. Let's stand together. I don't care what if you have problems with me or Outlaw Trucker or Jackie fucking Cunningham or Charlotte's Webbing. I don't care if you have problems with anybody, because everybody in this community knows that when we're on this channel, we're here for one fucking reason. And that's to make a fucking difference for our children's future in this country and to put pedophilia on lockdown, dude. So, like, everybody's welcome here besides pedophiles, man. Because the more of us that are in this community, the better chances we have of making it better for our future, for our kids, man. That's it.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I'll say is this. Look, you know what though? At least you know what, you go live, because you never know, dude. There might be somebody out there who would watch this, and they might, you know what, reach out to you and just, need some advice, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? And dude, if you could just help one person or just maybe just a small handful, it would all be worth it, man. Even though, right? Yeah, if it's a small channel.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I see it the exact same way you do, Richard. I like legitimately, like, and I personally know that there have been not just only a couple, but there have been quite a few people who have reached out to my wife and I for advice on how to deal with this situation. Like I'm working with a lady. My wife and I are working with a lady right now whose daughter has been abused, and her herself hasn't been abused, so she doesn't really know. She doesn't really know how to approach a child, and she's doing all the right things. She's got her in counseling. She's got her doing this, and trying to keep her busy. But there's just things that
not only that, she's struggling and battling her life herself.
Yeah. So I know firsthand that this channel, no matter how small it is, that this channel has already made a positive difference in quite a few individual people's lives, and on a broader scale. Like, one of my videos has almost 400 views on it. That's not a lot of views to a lot of people, but that's a shit ton to me. That tells me that video has reached that message in that video has reached 400 people. And how many people and how much of that information did they get off that video did they pass on down to their friends, and then their friends down to their friends. So, you know, this is something that I'm 100% passionate about. I will never stop doing what I'm doing until I draw my last breath. And you know,
It's all good, man. You know,
stand tough on pedophilia, man. We got to stand tough on pedophilia before it becomes normalized, and that's what I feel the hidden agenda is in all of this. Is they're trying to push for the normalization of pedophilia in throughout
yep,
the world.
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
It was a nice, chat, fellas. Both of you. You know what, man? Have a nice weekend, man, and I gotta go, man, because I have things to do and stuff. So,
All right,
all
brother.
right, man. Peace
Thanks
out,
for being a
homie.
member.
All right, you guys. All right,
All
man.
right. Thanks for being
Later.
a member of Get to Know, and just so you know, man, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being a member. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you yourself subscribing to this channel has made our mission much more achievable. So,
Well,
Richard, I tip my hat.
yeah, that is true, Rich. But also, it takes a stronger man to see of how life is destroying itself within the both sex on both sides, and it's getting ridiculous where we can't even live together anymore. I mean, it's got to stop.
Yeah. People don't want to believe it or whatever, but if we don't make drastic changes to what's going on in our country now, before we know it, every person that will walk the streets in this country will at some point in time be a victim of sexual abuse. It's inevitable.
Yep.
Like, I mean, we got to do something, you guys. We got to fucking do something. It's our responsibility to make a fucking difference, man. And obviously, our government's not going to do it. Obviously, the people in positions of power aren't going to do it. I mean, like, and this is just how far these parasites go. Like Jeffrey Epstein, okay? I don't know how many people know this or whatever, but Jeffrey Epstein, he had his own little individual fucking island out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. And do you know what his address was on that island? The physical address of his house on that island was the same as a cartoon character, a very famous cartoon character who lives in Bikini Bottom by the name of SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants, his address is 123 Bikini Bottom Lane. Well, go to Jeffrey Epstein's island, check out the name of the street, check out the fucking address on the goddamn house. It's 123 Bikini Bottom Lane. Imagine for 1 minute, how many children write Santa Claus each year? Millions. Fucking millions. How many children do you think wrote SpongeBob SquarePants a fucking letter? When an envelope gets put in the mailbox, it goes to the post office, and if there is an active address, that letter gets sent to that fucking address.
Yep.
So imagine how many millions of fucking letters Jeffrey Epstein and his fucking goons of fucking cocksuckers got from children. Legitimately. Jeffrey Epstein's island's address, 123 Bikini Bottom Lane. Check it out. No bullshit.
Wow.
Crazy,
I didn't
huh?
know that. Yeah, it is crazy. I didn't even know that.
A lot of people, yeah, dude. Like I said, I put a lot of time into my research and the things I'm going to talk about and whatnot. So if it's coming out of my mouth, just consider it the truth, man. Because I ain't, I'm not up here just
No, you're
bullshit.
you're speaking the facts. I mean, it's out there. You just gotta see it.
Right. And I'm not saying I'm always right and I know everything about it, because I don't, and I'm not. But by all means, if I do put out any information and it's wrong, bring it to me. I am perfectly okay with being shown that I've made a mistake, that I was wrong. I'm perfectly okay with that. I can take constructive criticism. I can take people coming at me saying, you know, hey, what are you doing? This is bullshit. I don't take that shit personally. Like, it makes me a stronger person. It builds my knowledge. And of course, I mean, I can almost always be right because, you know, I'm almost always right, but I'm not always right. So, you know, if by any,
And we're not even perfect either. I mean, we
yeah,
got to learn by every day to better ourselves, to try to get along. But yet there's others that just don't want us to get along, and it just makes it hard. You have to fight your way up there.
yeah, yeah, you know, and like when I before I started this channel, it never crossed my path. It never crossed my mind. It was never even a forethought of how much opposition and how many people were going to give me shit about my channel and what we're trying to do here. Like, I've got all kinds of crazy fucking emails from people telling me that they're, you know what I mean? Like, you think you were abused when you were a kid, wait until I get my dick, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was dumbfounded. And I'm like, it's fucked up, man. So for any creator that discusses this topic, it's not an easy path. It's not an easy road to go down. But
Yeah.
But for me, it's pretty easy for me to go down because I know what the bigger picture is, man. I got a fucking mission and I'm going to do it. So, you know?
Yeah, but there's a lot of rabbit holes out there too that are dead end. So you just gotta be careful how you approach it.
Yep. And you know, like I guarantee you that I'm gonna say something at some point in time to somebody that's gonna really fucking piss somebody off. And I'll apologize now, as I will when it happens, and I will when it happens again, because I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and I got a big mouth, and I use my words, and I really try not to give a shit what other people think about me or my opinion, because it's my opinion and that's how I feel about it. So, like, I'm sure I'll say something at some point in time.
But we do need to make. You're right. We do need to make a change out here and start bringing out the positive and try to get life back together again.
Yes, we do.
Where we can live in harmony. But what the government's doing, they're allowing so much stuff that we got to work 2-3 jobs and not even teach the kids properly, and they're out there all by themselves raising themselves with no mentor or anything to help them to learn.
Yep. Absolutely. Like that's I feel like we as a society, as a country, have allowed the government to step in and tell us what we can and can't do with our own children. I mean, yeah, we should have laws, you know, and shit. I'm not saying that, but like, we have let the government have too much power over us being individualized parents.
Yeah.
Like, period. You know what I mean? So that right there on its own is a big problem. But I'm going to run through
a neutral.
Go ahead.
Just to become a neutral family, to eat back at a dinner table instead of running off playing the games and all that.
Yeah.
To come back together at the dinner table.
Yeah. So I'm going to run through the chat. Say hey. I'm going to recognize everybody real quick, just so you know. Outlaw Trucker, what's up, bro? Charles Webbing, always great to see you here, sweetie. I really appreciate all your help. Lidka, always beautiful every day. Yes, you are. I love that you're part of the community. Really appreciate your support. Richard, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming up. That was really impromptu. So I really like that you came up and talked about your story a little bit. Maybe more men speaking up about what has happened to us as kids, whether we were sexually abused or not, will help make more men come forward, because unfortunately the statistics are 1 in every 6 men are abused at some point in time in their life, and I think it's a lot higher than that. And it's just because that most men want to admit to their abuse. So I appreciate you coming up and telling your story about that. Let's see, Lika, Charlotte's Webbing. Jackie fucking Cunningham, what's up, girl? You know I love when you're here. Uh-oh, I don't know what I just did with the chat. So I guess that's over. So I can't see my chat no more.
All you gotta do is click on their
Here we go.
and click back on comments.
Here we go. So Jackie fucking Cunningham, bringing it in. I love it. Charlotte's Webbing, being a boss like always, girl. I love it. I love it. Love it. Shit, I think that's about it. And to the other people that are just chilling out in the background, not saying nothing. Beyond the Terror, Beyond the Terror. I love that you're here too and saying hi. Thank you, sweetheart. Sunshine and Moonbeams. Boy, do I got something to say about you, girl. I got some shit to say. Oh, I'm just kidding. You know I love you. You know I love you, Sunshine and Moonbeams. Love that you're here. Every one of you give me the strength to continue doing this. And I know people get sick and tired of hearing me say it, but get used to it, I guess, you know, because that's what I do. I acknowledge people who I feel positive about, who show me decency and who show me care and who support the mission behind this channel. So all of you that are here now, and to anybody that sees this video after it gets posted, thank you. Spread the word. Let's get this fucking shit. Let's get this shit handled before it's way too late.
I do want to leave another positive note, like I have been. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about the money. It's not about the hardship. It's not about the stuff that we have made mistakes in, allowing the government to get in our lives to try to control us. It's the part of life that is so rich and true knowledge. It's just being free without being greedy. If we can get back to that state of life, we can do something again. But until then, if we keep allowing stuff to deflect us from learning and to keep hating, we will never become respectful again. But on that note, I just want to leave that on a positive note.
All right. It's always a pleasure having you up here, Outlaw Trucker. I really appreciate your support and keep on trucking, man. You got a good cause going for yourself too, man.
Yep, I always do. I mean, sometimes it's a battle, but some kids don't want to wake up to see it, but there are some that do. If you got a clouded mind that you can't make a judgment with yourself and to see it, then you're just going to turn and walk away and be hurt. But other than that, those who do see it and that want to make a change will stand together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But other than that, I'll catch you later. I got a phone call to make, and I'll catch everyone later because I may go live 2 Central. So.
All right. Well, I'll probably catch you then.
All right.
Outlaw Trucker, keep on trucking. Oh, all right.
Later, bud.
Later, man. Shark, I was just getting ready to let you in, girl. So I'll drop the link again. You're not getting out that easy. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was just getting ready to click on you, but you just were a little bit too fast for me. No, you're not even on my screen anymore. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present Charlotte's Webbing. What's up, Charlotte?
Hi, what's up?
Oh, not much. Just, you know,
Were you buffering?
Absolutely, Jackie fucking Cunningham. I don't know what happened. I'm not buffering now, but I don't know what happened. You popped out. You were on here, and I was getting ready to click on it, and then your picture disappeared, and yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you were buffering when I was trying to when I was backstage, your picture was buffering. But anywho, yeah, I found your information very informative.
Yeah. Well,
And
you know me.
I dropped some information for the chat.
I've seen that. I appreciate that very much.
Even the replay crew.
Hell yeah. Hey, the replay crew is just as important as the live crew. You know? So
yes. Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter to me.
So what happened to Outlaw?
What's that? Oh, he had a phone call to make, and he's gonna do it live at 2:00 Central or some shit. Yeah. So.
Oh.
So,
yeah, I dropped some hotline links and some different stuff for you. So how's Sugar Glider today?
She's doing all right. She's doing all right.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Jackie. What's up, Jackie fucking Cunningham?
Hello,
Jackie.
Everybody. Yay. Can you see me okay? Yeah, because my room's pretty dark, but the light's shining in. The amount of daylight that we've got.
You're good. we can see your beautiful face just fine, girl.
That's okay then. Carry on chatting.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to chance. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, you know how I work. Ladies first.
I wanted to address a couple things. You might disagree on me with this, but when it comes down to, victim of
turn my mic
off essay or things like that. A lot of people, there's a lot of myths out there. I mean, when it comes down to, okay, so the parents let this teenager dress like this, and that's why, it's an easy target for this or that. A lot of people, don't understand the mind of you do, Aaron, because it's happened to you. The mind of a pedophilia doesn't care about what's going on with a family or how the family was taught their children this or how they were raised or
they've only got
none of that matters.
Yep.
Exactly.
Only one thing matters.
And if it was not and if it was not a family member that has done this, say it's a random, they have no idea what's behind that family's doors or what they have been taught or, and even if it was a family, that's not in their mind. They only have one thing, and there's a lot of myths out there. I mean, there's a website that's got like hundreds of myths, where people think, it's outrageous, all these that you hear, and I love hearing different people's opinions, but sometimes you just gotta, take a swallow. But what I wanted to say is, and you might disagree with me on this, but I just hate hearing about the government. I just hate hearing that. And I know we're going to disagree on, and that's where different opinions come in, right? But I hate hearing the word government.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's thousands of forms of government. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when I hear someone say government, I'm thinking, okay, what are you actually, can you define who in the government, or can you define actual, can you give me the facts of what person in the government? Does that make sense? Because there's thousands and millions of people that work for the government.
Right.
And I myself am one of them.
Yeah.
I
No, yeah.
actually bill Medicaid. I work for Medicaid. So therefore I am a government worker. So when people speak about the government, it tears me apart because you can't categorize them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
As
that's
all
why when
being bad.
and I don't, and I hope I don't come off like that. That's why I usually, when I'm talking about it, I usually say the people that are in positions of power to make and dictate what laws, what penalties are for these laws, and how they regulate. Like those are the ones. The people that are in positions of power to make changes and differences in our country. That's
Okay.
what I'm talking about when I'm saying government. I used to work for the city of Pocatello. I used to work for the city of Pocatello.
Yes,
The Parks
correct.
Department. I worked for them for 10 years.
There you go.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
there you
I try
go.
to make sure that I try to make
there
sure
you
that's
go.
out
There you go.
So, you know what I mean? Yes. So I'm glad you brought that up because
There
I
you
don't
go.
want that misconstrued. I don't want that misconstrued.
And there you go. Right, there you go. But it also starts with when you are of, I don't want to say product, that's the wrong word. But if you are a victim of any sexual assault, any rape, any domestic violence, any of that, it starts with the small government.
Yep.
You have to report it within your local government. And if they don't do a squat shitty, you go up one step higher. It has to be within your state first.
Yeah.
That's where it all has to start.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I get completely
So
what you're
if
saying.
we don't make changes within our local, within our own town, within our own state, our own district first, and then our own state, we can't just boom go to the higher.
Yeah.
So that's where we need to start. That's where we need to start getting the information to them, and we need to start writing letters to them. It's been done. It's been done. It's been done before.
Yep.
Like I put in, I put in a thing. There's in your own state, in Idaho, it's been done. In Idaho, they have a Man's Act. So, it's been done. It can be done, and it starts with the lower.
Right.
We just can't go boom to the higher. But we won't get anywhere
there, Charlotte?
with blaming
Charlotte,
the higher. Huh?
Can I just step in just to see what you're saying there with writing letters? That's the correct way to go, because that's what we done. And like, as you say about the government, when we're speaking about, we've got two governments in the UK. We've got the UK government and we've got the Scottish government. But we've had a lot of problems now, and that's the way to go. You email them, but you have to get a group of people, and it's like starts with a movement, a grassroots movement, and that's how you do it. Because we've been working on although I'm Scottish and I've got a different government in the UK, but we've got Nicola Sturgeon, and we went totally against what Nicola Sturgeon's been doing now. And what's been going on with all this nonsense, and we've been growing our grassroots for over 5 years, but it's taken to 5 years to now for us people that are trying to highlight this. But you have to write. But that's the best way to go.
Yes.
Email them. Yeah.
For sure. See, like when I first started this channel, like my vision was to like.
Yes.
Call it whatever
and
you want.
have your support people email them.
Yeah, but like I want to see a get to know channel in every city, in every state throughout the country. I mean, because I can only cover so much, you know what I mean? So there's all these other people that I can't cover. So like if there was 100,000, there's 100,000 of us out there.
Amen.
You know what I mean? That ran by the name and get to know, and we in every city, in every town, in every fucking state in this country. That's what I'd like. That's how my vision started. That's what my vision started with. Like a person like me, you know, just running my little area, my own little hometown, and then somebody else, you know, up the road from me running their little hometown, going by the same, you know, get to know. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of that's how my vision started.
Amen.
Jackie, you're muted, sweetheart.
It's easy to do that. We've got a woman in England, and she's called Kelly J. Keane. Her internet name's called Posey Parker, and she's like, she uses her channel.
Well, and just take a notebook and
yeah, and she's got her channel, and she's went worldwide. She's done like a few things in America. She's went to a few states in America about things that's going on that we should be addressing. And let's just call them alphabet people, what's been going on, how women's rights is getting erased, and men are stepping in, and, you know, there's safe spaces that's got to be held for women and children and even men. But there's men that are creeps, and they're going into spaces against vulnerable children and vulnerable women. And we've been, as I said, we've been growing this grassroots for the last 5 years, but we're getting there now, and the government's listening. They're listening now, because last week, since December, we've been campaigning because there was a double rapist in a women's jail because he identified as a woman. So he went to the women's prison, but over the last couple of weeks, we've got him removed, and that's just like grassroots campaigning. You know, writing letters and going to these places and campaigning. So anyway, he got removed. A week ago, a child got kidnapped just down at the borders, and it was an alphabet trans woman identifying, but he was a man. But it's even to get the government to actually say he's a man now, because they brought in this law now, and there's a loophole. You know, there is people who are transgender or whatever, you know, but there's a loophole for groomers and paedophiles and, you know, the wrong-yins, as we say, and that's a loophole. But we done it. It's like we done it in 4 weeks, and we've made the government now think, and they're listening. They're listening now, because we built that movement up, and it's the way to go. You can do it, Aaron, and you know, because children need a voice, and children are scared. That's what we've came across, because you know what, they're actually in our schools in the UK, and you know, a child could change gender at school and no tell their parents. It's like, no, you know, this is you know, you can't do that at school. You know, you're an adult parent, guardian, whoever's looking after you has to know what's going on. But that's a type of grooming, because that's like, didn't tell your mum or dad. You know what I mean? This is a secret. You know what I mean? But we need the children to speak up about this, and a lot of children are speaking up about it, that they didn't want. And it's children didn't ever think that they're going to be believed, you know, because children are still learning, but they're very clever at learning. And the right and the wrong. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I'll let you get back. Well, we'll get back, but that's my little input. I'll go on mute now.
What you're doing in your country, girl, you are a hero to me. Like what you do, you're petitioning for shit, you're pushing your government to make changes and shit, and that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about, man. See, you're already living proof, and we've never talked about this before. So, like, this isn't something that we could have came up with on the sidelines, because we didn't. This is all coming at you just right off the top here. So you in your country, You guys are already making changes that I want to see our country start doing. So let Jackie fucking Cunningham's motherfucking story, let her story influence you guys, man. Like a change is possible. It's not.
Yes.
It's not the most biggest fight we're up against in our lifetime. These changes can be simply made. We
And
just got to get enough people together to stand together, united as one, to make that fucking change happen. And Jackie, you guys are doing it, girl.
I'm
I
very
tip my
proud
hat
of
to
you, Jackie, and
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's
everybody.
taken a long time to get to the stage
Jackie,
that we
I'm
are.
very proud of you and
But
all yours. And
But the amount of protests that we've done, you know, it's no nothing against anybody in the alphabet, but there's
Right.
people in the alphabet that they're bad, you know what I mean? And they're using that loophole and they're damaging, you know, a community. And when you see a damage getting done to a community, you know, but there people are like, because they're run by Stonewall, and Stonewall is like such a powerful movement, but they're targeting young people where, like, if you want to be like lesbian, gay, bisexual, most people figure that out 16, 17, 18, but you know, every children's learning things, but that should never be pushed on anybody's children. And when it is pushed on a child, that child should know that's wrong. You know what I mean? I'm a child. You know, you shouldn't even have any of these kind of sexuality thoughts running through your head. And if you're a boy and you want to play with Barbie, go ahead, play with Barbie. And if you're a girl and you want to play with like trucking stuff, you know, that's not going to like push you into like you've got to do that. Or, you know, we've all got to break a mold. You know what I mean? Because sometimes these kind of rules are pushing women back, you know, to do things. You know what I mean? And being a woman, it's not a struggle, but I've seen a lot of women struggling, you know, and it's like it's going back like 100 years, you know, because their men are now stepping in. And it's like, no, not that these men that are doing it, it's no men that are real men like Aaron and, you know, the good men of the world. You know, it's the creeps. They're creeps. It's like what's been going on, like, on the TikToks and that. You know, it's unbelievable, the grooming, the TikTok. You know, that's needed barred. You know, it's, you know, and as you said earlier on, Aaron, who's bringing up the children? The internet, because mum and dad are busy or whatever. You're in a room, and I've got young nephews as well, and like my nieces and that are all quite aware of things and that. But if you've got a child in the house, they could just pick up your phone, and because we're over 18, we could go into these things, but we didn't choose to go into these things. But there's things that are like children's things. You know, there's a new thing that was an LGBTQ thing, and it was targeted for like you know, just young children. Young children shouldn't be into just to that kind of thing. I'm all for like the two same-sex parents and that. Everybody's a good parent if you're a good parent. You know what I mean? And you didn't want a child to be bullied at the school because they've got two mums or two dads. You know, but that kind of thing should be educated. But to throw it on a child, that is just that. It's that. I would say it would be like grooming. It's that level. You know, to see where that, because some children speak out, but some didn't. Well, some don't. That was a Scottish word there, but you know, and that's how children they get targeted. Then you know what I mean, and it's the ones that didn't speak up. But everybody should speak up. You know.
Yep. Like one of the biggest things that I battle with myself for myself is the fact that I had from the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to say something, but as time went on, the threats got worse, the demands got worse, and like my biggest mistake, if I could go back, people ask, you know, if you could go back in your life and change one thing, what would you do? And the one thing I would change is the first time that this motherfucker violated me, I wish I would have went straight to my parents and said something. But I didn't. So, you know, and that's why that's like with Widow's daughter, with her going with this little 4-year-old girl, 5-year-old girl going to her mom and saying, "Hey, this shit's going on," you know what I mean? Like that right there is amazing to me. Like that little girl is my hero and she'll be my hero for the rest of my life, dude. Like I wish I would have had that kind of
Yes.
courage to go to my parents. And I got to tip my hat to Widow herself for not discrediting her daughter, for automatically believing her daughter, because the percentage is less than 0.02% that if a child comes to you and tells you that they are being sexually violated by somebody, there's less than a 0.02% chance that they're lying about it.
She's a warrior. She definitely
she
is
is.
in my book.
Oh yeah, she is. She's well on her way. She's well on her way to being a savage about it. And that's straight up.
I really hope that she does. This is none of my business, and you know, we should probably not be I shouldn't be talking about it without her permission, but I really do hope she gets her into some great therapy, because it will haunt you in your later days.
Yep. Well, I can tell you right
can't
now.
hide
I
it.
I won't go into
You
details,
cannot.
but I can tell you right now that Widow's doing a good job on getting things lined up for her. So she just needs to continue. She just needs to continually
awesome.
hear people supporting her. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Because I can only imagine what it would be like to have your child come up to you and tell you that this was happening, and yeah, I'd go off the deep end really hard. So,
well, I raised 2 girls. All 3 of my kids were teens at one time, and like I told you before, I have experience with it, and I just hope you can't hide it. You can't, because you can try to put it behind your shoulder, and it may hide for 15 years, but it's going to come back 2 times worse when it does. And you never know when it will. It will come, and it will hit you, and it'll haunt you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
and you'll never be the same.
If a child said something, like what you were saying, getting sexual, whatever, a child, if that child has never been exposed to any of that, how would they know about that? So it's got to be true, and it's a psychology, but see the groomers, it's very, very difficult. It's to get that child to be brave and speak out that that's wrong. And that's where it's hard to educate children on that. Where is the line? But there's got to be some kind of intervenience for an education that it's wrong. And whenever it happens, say something, and we'll believe you. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So it is brave. It is totally brave. And that's where the education
and
in these things. No,
and
normalize it. God.
Yep.
Never, ever, ever believe your significant other over a child. Never.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing you could ever do to a child.
Like, and I know this is kind of a fucked up statistic, and just let me get it all out before anybody says anything, because I know there's a lot of people in this community that has a ex-husband or a new husband, as a stepdad or a stepmom or a stepbrother or a stepsister in their new lives with their biological kids. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that 99%, okay, it's not what I'm saying, that 99% of all step parents or children are going to molest children. But if you are in a relationship and you are with the biological parents and they split up and those biological parents get with another parent that's not biological to their kids, they increase their child's risk of being sexually violated by 99%. They increase it. I'm not saying that it happens 99. It's not saying that it happens 99%. It increases the chances of that child being sexually violated by a stepbrother, stepsister, stepmom, or stepdad. Like, that's legitimate right there. It raises the chances of your child being sexually violated by 99%. That's in like when I first read it, I had to read it over a few different times. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like a risk,
Amen.
a risk
I believe
factor
you.
in anything.
I believe that 100.
As
Go ahead.
Charlotte's speaking, she's a bit choppy there. She cut off. No, it's like as you say, there's a risk factor in everything. But
My
people kinda
grandma
look at
always
risk
said that to any of my nieces or whatnot that had kids. My grandma always would say the first thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
You look in internet there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I thought you were a bit choppy, but no, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, you're good, Char.
48.
Are you still there?
Oh, no,
Char?
no. That's one. Oh, one thing my grandma always said, like to my nieces that had, I'm here. Are you there?
Yeah, we hear you.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yep,
Can you hear me?
Yep.
we hear you.
I don't know what's going on. One thing that my grandma grandma would always say to, like, okay, I'm talking. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing my grandma would always say to, like, my nieces and stuff whenever they would bring, like a new guy and my niece would have, like, a child, my grandma would always say, watch and protect your children.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 It's a mother instinct as well.
Hello?
There's father's instincts yeah, we hear you. There's mother, I don't know if mother instinct, I'm not a mother.
Oh gosh,
so I
maybe.
don't know.
Are you guys not talking?
Yeah, could you hear me?
We were just listening to you, Char.
She might be cutting off. I don't know. Could you hear me okay, Aaron?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me just fine? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
fine.
I just you guys are messing with me.
The FBI's on you, Charlotte. You're getting
Been
tapped into.
Limburger
Hey.
that
Hashtag
Aaron
save
had
the-
today.
Hashtag save the Limburger. Hashtag save the Limburger, man.
Yeah, but it's very true because if you're like introducing somebody into a
I can hear you guys.
family, so that you've had a family with somebody and then you split up and then that other person comes in.
No.
Of course, that's a risk, but you've got a mother's instinct. It should be. I've heard a lot of women. I'm not like a mother, but I've got an instinct. I know if anything's like that's not right. But mother's instincts, it's built in between mother and child, and I think there's father's instincts in that as well. Because my dad was quite a big protector in that as well, but my mother, she was more protective. If anybody was at the door, that when you have a little fight in the street with the neighbours, kids as they do. Mom would open the door like a lioness and roar, protecting me. But, and that's how mothers should be, But in this day and age, we've got to debate more. You know, we're no animals and we didn't rip each other apart. But there is debates and there's right ways and wrong ways. But I think if you ever touch something that belongs to you, your child, you know, you're even a father. So my father, my father would have ripped anybody apart if they touched me if I was a child.
Yeah.
But I think that's why, sometimes you've got to be grateful, and it's hard, it's difficult for any parent, looking after their children, especially in this day and age. I'm going to put my light on. Although we've still got daylight in Scotland, it's getting dark.
Here.
Talk about shining some light on the subject.
Aaron, I wanted to share a story with you if you would like.
Absolutely.
If you would let me.
Absolutely.
And something that you had mentioned on another live, I believe, about how the pesticides should, lifetime. In my county, this happened about, I would say, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. He was a Boy Scout leader. Yes, he was my son's Boy Scout leader too. He got caught during one of his scout groups, whatever. He got caught peeping in on a boy in the bathroom. So the boy went and told the parent him. Not only was he doing funky things with boys at his meetings, he was also 3 boys. His wife knew, and it had been going on for several years. He ended up getting life in prison, but he ended up dying in prison. And as soon as that hit the papers, man, we were all happy. But the worst part about it was when it happened, see, some news editors are so cruel and evil when they put out articles. Some do not have to protect minors. That might be something to do with the law. I'm not sure. They didn't put the names because of this said news article editor or news editor. Because of course they put his name in, the grandpa's name, right? And they put in exactly different details, not specifically, but you would know as like if it happened, if you were a SA survivor, you would know what the article was about, what he actually did to the children. Does that make sense? Can you hear me? Okay, so anyway, so the editor put in detail, like not exactly in detail, but in a majority of detail of what he did to his grandkids. But it was disgusting, vile, and gross. But the day that we found out that he had died in prison, it was like we all were like pretty much had a party, right? Because he was disgusting. But my son looked up to him, and things like that. And his wife knew. She supported him 100%, went to court with him every time there, backed him up, but she knew. And I just wanted to let you know that because that is one pesticide that died in jail. So.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad your son didn't fall victim to him.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, at least they got caught.
No,
Well,
I've
as we're
asked.
talking-
I've asked him. I've asked my son time and time again. Still to this day, I've questioned him, and he says no.
Yeah,
So
but you know, that's the thing as well. You were talking about that
But-
earlier because you in America have the death penalty, and sometimes the death penalty, you would wish that on somebody if they'd done something to your family or anybody, you know, that you knew they deserved death. But in the UK, we didn't do death. You just go to prison. But you know, even like somebody that's getting life, there's a difference. There is life. You'll never get out, never ever, because they'll sentence them to like 100 years. But there is ones that do life, and that's only 25. But if you do good things, you know, you get that
Right.
chance, you will get back out, eh? But it's it's keeping that person, like how the people in some of your states in America, like death, it's the injection.
yeah,
But
that one.
that must be
Yeah,
brutal
that-
as well, you know, to get the injection, you know, and it fails, you know, because there's been a lot of like fuck ups, as I'll say, that's happened through the death injection, and it's like nobody deserves a human right anyway. Once they've taken somebody's human right, you know, let them suffer, sort of thing, But it's really hard, you know. Again, I don't know what to do with them, really. Just let their mothers at them. That's what I say. Let their mothers and fathers at them. Yeah.
Oh, I could come up with a few ideas.
That little boy saved. Yeah, that little boy saved so many lives of being a victim. He had to move out of town as well. But yep.
Yeah, that's messed up. Like, from my viewpoint, from being a victim to where I'm at now, like, I still struggle with my abuse every single day of my life. My abuser never seen a minute of time for what he did to me. He's a registered sex offender now, but he's only been caught once. And I'm telling you, he ain't never stopped, except for maybe when he was in prison. And I would sleep a lot better at night knowing that he was standing in front of God right now instead of walking the street. And if you know, evidence points to this motherfucker murdered a part of me every single time he fucked with me. He murdered a part of my innocence that I have to relive every fucking day of my life for the rest of my life. I say this all the time, and I'm sure people get sick and tired of hearing it, but like, not even God himself can take that fucking action away from me and make me not a sexually abused person. Nobody can take that away. I couldn't even make a deal with the devil to have the devil take that away from me. Nobody can ever remove that from me.
He does.
So
he doesn't deserve a chance to stand in front of God.
No, like he just deserves to be fucking. He deserves to be put out of this fucking shit so he no longer abuses any kids, man. Because here in America, people got this fucking false image. People got this false image of what happens to these motherfuckers when they get to prison. Okay, now this is how you'll know I'm serious. Okay. Here in my state, okay, and I'm sure it's like this in almost every state in the United States. When a person is taken into custody by the state or by the federal government and the state government become legally and financially responsible for that individual. Okay? So they are required, when you are sentenced to go do prison time and get your freedom taken away, like that comes with certain guarantees, like the government's like they're going to take your freedom away, but they're going to guarantee that they keep you safe. You know what I mean? Like they're responsible for your safety. So, yes, every once in a while,
one of these parasites will get onto the yard or the farm, you know, minimum security in the general population, and they'll get fucked up. They will every once in a while. But see, if you look into it in this, I'm going to challenge everybody who watches this. Okay, this is a challenge. By the time I go live next, probably be tomorrow. By the time I go live next, I want you guys to research into your prison system wherever you're at. Okay, look into your prison system and see exactly how they.
I have been for the last 2 months.
Okay.
So you're looking to see how exactly sex offenders are housed in their unit. They have these motherfuckers. They in my state, and I guarantee you it's like this in 99% every other state prison and federal prison in this country. Okay.
48-hour lockup.
Yeah, with other pedophiles, with other pedophiles, not with actual criminals. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers that'll rip your fucking head off because you know I'm a gangster. You know what I mean? Like drug dealers and shit, like criminals. Like so they get housed in a whole separate unit from the main fucking prison, surrounded by its own fucking security fences, with its own fucking guard detail, to make sure that they don't get fucking hurt while they're in prison, because the prison would get sued so much that they would go out of business. So they literally take these parasites that are the worst child molesters and baby rapers. They're worse than fucking murderers. Okay, they're worse than these kids that fucking pulled off that's done this any school shooting.
That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on. It's going on in the UK just now, Aaron. Do you know there's a man in a male prison, but he identifies as a baby and he wants to wear diapers every day. He gets diapers delivered and he gets baby food delivered, and that's what he identifies. And he's a grown man,
Yeah.
and we're paying for that.
Yeah.
Andy, he's in the
we
prison.
have that here too.
He's a
Aaron,
groomer,
can you
he's a
finish? I'm
pedophile.
sorry.
No, keep going.
So these parasites that are the fucking worst of the worst people in existence, in my opinion, they are protected 100 fucking percent, protected better than any other person, including the fucking guards that protect them in the prison system, period. Because there's so many of these motherfuckers that are going to prison that they get paid a certain amount of money for each person that's in prison, and if they're responsible for their health, their safety, and all that shit, when motherfuckers start getting shanked and start ending up dead in the showers, well, somebody's got to be responsible for that, so they're gonna get paid out somehow because they can't do it. Like they're responsible for your safety. So people have this fucking image that these parasites that get sent to prison are with the gangbangers and the crazies, and you know, like the drug dealers and the bikers and the ABers, you know what I mean? So like that's not it doesn't happen. It doesn't fucking happen like that. They protect them. Period. They're required to. Do you think
that's it's got to be a mental health issue? Because nobody in a normal frame of mind would actually like do any of that kind of stuff to identify as whatever, and so that they know when they go into the jail. Because again, when they go into the jail in your areas, you know, if you've done anything to children, old people, or women, you know, and you're a man, you have to get segregated because your life, you know, for the petty crimers, because that's just a no-no. But that's the thing. Talking about this the other day, I don't know what it's like in America, but see, in the UK, we didn't hear any asylums now, and people like that would have maybe been like identified like they've got a wee mental health problem. So it would have been picked up and then it would have been put into the asylum. But over the years and decades and centuries, obviously that was sort of like against our human rights. But now these people are walking among us, you know, and I live in quite a renowned area in Edinburgh, Scotland, and that there's but we've not got asylums because they've not got them anywhere back. Some people should be in these places, even because they are a danger to the public. But now they walk among us, and it's like, is this care in the community when the community is now in danger? Well, wait, this is a human right thing, and it's like we've got human rights, for your safety, and they've got human rights to walk free, free world.
Like
Very difficult.
I just know what the Bible says about people who hurt children and what their punishments should be. And I just know that if the Bible says tie a 10-ton millstone around their fucking neck and sink them to the deepest parts of the fucking sea for eternity, that says something right there about what the Lord thinks should happen to these fucking parasites. That's your eternity. A 10-ton millstone tied around your fucking neck to the bottom of the sea. Like, that seems pretty fucking, I don't want to go through that shit. You know what I mean? So, like, if that's what God says should be the punishment to people who hurt children, I say fucking it's a 47-cent court case. You know why 47 cents? Because that's about 47 cents is what it takes to make a 9mm bullet. Period. Like when you go into a house, when you detectives go in, this happened in my town, my little rinky-dink town of less than 100,000 people. Okay, 3 years ago, cops kicked in this fucking door of this couple, man and woman, who had been in this part of this community for 30 years. They kicked in their fucking door, and when they went downstairs with the search warrant and searched their sex dungeon that they had in their fucking basement, and they found over 300 6-hour-long VHS cassette tapes of numerous victims. They were going around grabbing kids off the fucking street and shit and shooting them so high full of methamphetamine that they couldn't function, and then taping them, raping them as a couple. Okay, you walk into somebody's fucking house and you see all these sex tapes of all these fucking kids getting violated on their computers, their laptops, millions of downloaded fucking images of children. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Somebody must have put that on my computer for me. It was a mistake. You cannot mistakenly not know there's over 1 million fucking images of explicit fucking pictures of children on your fucking laptop unless you did it yourself. 300 videotapes, over 300 cassette tapes, 6 hours a piece of them doing foul things. Why does anything besides the fucking death penalty, on the spot death penalty, anything besides that is an injustice to every one of those kids that got violated? Why do either one of them get a fucking extra second to fucking live and breathe the air of any person they fucking violated ever the fuck again? That's fucking guilty. If that's guilty. Only cure for that is death. Period.
Exactly. Can I bring something up, Aaron?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the age of consent, I know in a lot of states are 16 years or older, but keep in mind that you can consent verbally to someone that is over 18 years of old, 8 years of older if you are 16 years. But keep in mind, you can consent to that verbally, but it is against the law and considered statutory rape, or they call it that's the old term. They call it unlawful sexual conduct with a minor.
Very good. Very good.
But it is against the law if the victim was intimidated, if the victim had been impaired, intoxicated, and gave verbal consent. So, if someone was at a party and was drinking and they're 16 years old and they have sex with the 18-year-old, that is illegal.
Oh yeah.
And also, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different legal aspects to that. So if anybody decides to have sex with a 16 or 17-year-old that's over 18, look up the laws to where they can still get your ass.
Oh yeah. Like I have a friend. He's dead now. Like we just celebrated his birthday and his 10-year death. Actually, he was with this girl for like 2 years. He was like 11 months older than her, and whatever. He was with this girl from like the time she was like 15, 16 years old, and he was being, 16, 17 years old, and having sex with her the whole time. Okay. He legitimately, this girl's parents, the day he turned 18, this girl's parents literally pressed statutory rape charges on him because he was an adult having sex with a minor. Statutory rape. Boom. And he went to prison. He went and did 7 years on that charge for something that he was already engaged in sexual intercourse with this girl for 2 years, but because now her parents didn't like him, and he had to register as a sex offender, and we were fighting to get him off the sex because that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like there's a line. Like I said earlier, I don't believe somebody who pees in the park is a sex. If you don't sexually
exactly
abuse somebody, then like me peeing in the park and some older lady or some older man, you know what I mean, sees me peeing in the park, my bad.
Could I
mean?
Could I ask you Americans a question?
Yeah.
Because I know that you have got different states, different laws. See if there's a state in America and the legal age is like 16 for sex, and another state is illegal 18, but there's a boy and a girl and they get together and they're from a different state, but they go to a state, because it's illegal, and then something happens or the law finds out. Is that a crime because that girl was from a state that was like 16 or the boy was 16? Because it could be reverse roles as well. He could be like younger, and go with an older. What's the law on that? Because like in the UK, it's just 16. It's just like 16 and that's it.
without consent.
Yeah, but we can, the boy and the girl were like going out together. They were boyfriend, girlfriend, but just went to like, I don't know, say Las Vegas.
Oh.
I believe Las Vegas is like
Oh,
the city of sin. So what would happen there? And then, the girl or the boy was then able to say, well, I was underage because I'm from that state.
Once you cross over a state line, you are now under that state's jurisdiction. So what? So what is legal? Like I live in one state. Mm-hmm. And like all the states around me are legal for marijuana in one way or another, and my state's really not yet. But like if somebody from Oregon comes to Idaho and they get pulled over in Idaho being from Oregon and they have marijuana, they will arrest you. They will charge you with possession, paraphernalia, depending on how much you have with trafficking or whatever the fuck, because it's illegal here. So it's illegal here. So if you come from Oregon and you are going to Montana and you don't want to go to jail for fucking having weed on you when you get pulled over in Idaho, because you will, you better drive all the fucking way around 6 different states just to get up 300 miles. You know what I mean? So that's how it works. Whatever state they're in, no matter what state you're from. Like I can go rob a bank in fucking Kentucky, and Idaho couldn't do shit to me. You know what I mean? Because I didn't do it in Idaho. So if I'm in Kentucky and I rob a bank in Kentucky, I'm under Kentucky's jurisdiction under their law, and that's.
Do you have to show ID? Is there like border sort of things that, say if you were like going to another state for it, just like a family picnic, and you were deciding to go over the border for the day, are you allowed to do that, or do you have to let that state know that you're going over? Like, is there a point?
No, we don't.
No.
We don't have to let anybody know. We're free. We're free to move about our borders and our own state borders and in interstate borders as much as we want without reporting to anybody. So, like, if I'm going to Oregon, I don't have to tell anybody I'm going there. There's no department to report that to. So, no, we're free. We're cool to move within our borders freely as much as possible. So,
I always wondered why, like, people fly. Get the airplane from one state, to another state. But then I realized I have realized America's quite a big place. And you drive, it'd be, it's a long drive if you were going somewhere.
Hang on. I gotta cut you off. I gotta cut you off for a second here, okay? Like you're here recently. You're not the only one that said that you've heard that America's not a good place, or not a safe place, and just know that I'm an American. My dad went and fought for this country. My grandpa went and fought for this country. My great-great-grandpa went and fought for this country. My great-great-great-grandpa went and fought for this country. Both sides of my dad, my parents' family. So, America is the greatest country in the world because we have our own individual freedoms, and you only have a bad impression of what you see about America, because unfortunately our country only produces the negative bullshit and the fucked up shit, like cops beating up citizens and killing them, like fucking school shootings going on. They don't tell you, the news never tells you a positive thing about this country. So just let it be known, I'm not getting on your ass, Jackie fucking Cunningham, because I love you. But like, legitimately, America is the greatest fucking country in the world, and
Scotland does.
Yep, America is owned. We are owed money. I'm just saying, and also I'm telling you right now, we are free to go anywhere, anytime we want.
Good.
The only thing is, every state has different laws. So, like, if I want to take my motorcycle to Kansas, where I'm from, we don't have a helmet law, unless you just have your permit for 1 year, which a lot of people don't, follow that law. But if I want to take my motorcycle to Kansas, I better have my helmet with me, because Kansas might have a helmet law where I'm from, we don't. So it's just every state has different laws that they, like where I'm from, I don't have to have a front license plate. So,
where I'm from, you better have both.
Other states,
we've got different laws. England,
so it's just different laws. Right.
Yeah.
But I can go to your state and they can see where I'm from, and I won't get citation for it. You know what I mean? They see that I don't have my front license plate, but they'll see what state I'm from, so I won't get a citation for that.
See, it's good
Yeah.
that I'm learning
But
that
yes,
because sometimes
we-
you get told different things. Like my mum had went to America. She'd been to like quite a lot of the States, and I used to get quite worried about my mum going to America, but she loved it. But it's sort of just like how we are in Britain, although we've only got England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. But they're like little miniature states. But we've got all different laws. Because in Scotland, we've got different laws, you know. But if you committed a crime in that state, you know, you're going to get done for, you know. But because you have got like, I don't know, was it 52 states? Is it 52 states? You know,
We're
and
50,
each one.
50, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, like each one's got different ones, you know, and it's like I'm into the true crime. And when you're looking at one crime and then another crime, and then what happened on that crime, and some of the criminals jump border, and when you're looking into that, my head is like, whoa, what's going on here? Because it could get
That's
tried.
because
and
you're
that-
watching the negative and not the positive.
Yep. Because
Oh,
that's
I
all.
didn't watch-
It's because
Yeah,
you're
because
you're
I watched
watching the
much of the
negative and not the
YouTube
positive.
I didn't watch much of the YouTube true. Well, I do watch it because I'm like, what's going on, you know, in some of them, eh? But I do watch sort of like the you know, like there's the ones that follow it for the courtrooms and that. I like watching the court, you know, at the courtrooms and that, because you kind of get more reality than that, eh? It's the courtroom, you know. But you do get the ones, the so-called true crimers. But you know, sometimes I think it baffles us, you know, in Britain. Well, the ones that watch it in Britain, because I know there's a few people I've seen them that they pop up, and it's like, you know, if you chit chat to them, it's like, well, that doesn't happen here, you know, or that doesn't happen here, that's different. You know, even like with you guys in a gun law, we're pretty lucky we didn't have no guns, because I'll tell you, we'd all die, we'd all be shooting each other. You know, it's like pretty a good thing that we didn't have guns,
Right.
you know, because that's
Well,
quite,
and
as
long as we focus on the, yeah, as long as we focus on the pesticide laws, you know, that's what's most important right now, is getting these pesticides off of YouTube, off of the streets, out of these homes, and behind bars.
Absolutely, because here, let me scare the shit out of everybody real quick, okay? And I don't care what fucking country you're from. I don't care whether you're rich or you're poor. The number, if you have any kind of interaction with people throughout a day at all, the number of people that you interact with every single fucking day of your life and just passing through the grocery stores, 80% of them are parasites. I'm telling you, man. People don't realize it's, people don't think that people don't see it as bad as they don't take it for as bad as it really is, man. It's a fucking, it's becoming a fucking, it's an epidemic in our country. The biggest problem with America is where it's got its prerogatives, where it's got its priorities. Like, let's focus on sending billions of American dollars out to another country when there's a kid every 2 minutes being prepared to be fucking trafficked in our country, you guys. There are so many people that don't ever get fucking caught for this shit, that you interact with every single day, that you trust with all that you are. Watch who you fucking let into your lives, man. Question: if you think
Amen.
something's going on with your kid, I fucking guarantee you something's going on with your kid. Whether it's sexual abuse or being bullied or just not feeling comfortable at school, what if there's something going on? If you think there's something going on with your kid, I fucking guarantee you something's going on with your kid. Period. One way or another, something's going on with your kid, man. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense at all?
Yes.
Yeah,
Amen.
parent always knows, you know, and that's the thing. That's where we've got to
Please,
educate
please.
the children. Was Charlotte saying something?
Yeah, go ahead, Troy.
Please be aware of as well. There's a lot of sneak females and males on YouTube. Keep your
Yeah.
eyes and ears open in public, in your home, on YouTube, anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there's,
like the
Um,
one.
Aaron is a warrior. Aaron is a warrior, and I can't thank him enough for all the information. He has helped me. He has helped me so much, so much,
information.
and we talk about it on the side.
Yeah, if you need any information,
All right, I'm gonna
because
mute.
see, you starting a network, and if, when you start a network, you've got to expand it. You know what I mean? And like people across the pond, we've, you guys are the promised land, and it's like we've got to start speaking to each other now that we've got all these tools, like easy contact, and we've got to like pass the good and the informative information to each another. You know, old school stuff like Chinese whisper, she said, he said. No. We just go straight down the line. And if you're like got a tight group of people that you're going to like get that information from, and that's how you build up grassroots. I've seen how they work on the YouTube streets, and oh my goodness, it's like chaos. I spot them right away. I'm pretty an educated person. I've done like psychology, like philosophy, and on behaviors of humans and all that. I've even done forensic science, and you know, I'm quite educated, but I'm like, I didn't like portray that onto like the internet because it's like no need for that. But sometimes I do say things because I think I'm just going to say that, and then see when you do say something like that. That's how I've noticed, because I've like, with me being in this grassroots campaigning in Scotland, when we go on the internet, we have to learn how to deal with trolls, who our trolls are, secret that troll, get as much information of that troll as possible, and we can do it. And it's pretty easy once you learn it. Yeah, it's easy peasy, but it's like learning how to do it.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna take you down for a minute because I told Char that I'd give her some time because I told her that I'd give her some time just to have a conversation between her and I tonight. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off here within the next 15 minutes. So I gotta be a man of my word and give Char her time. So can we continue this the next time, Jackie? Because I would.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. No bother.
Okay, Jackie.
See you later.
Bye.
Jackie, it was nice talking to you, Jackie. She's a sweet lady.
So she is too. But I can't wait to get the fucking bullshit back from this one. But it's not even 11 o'clock, and I bought me a bottle of Jägermeister yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty good this morning.
Oh no.
No, it's good. Well, now I'm gonna make my other apple pie too. So because I'm gonna change my apple pie up with one ingredient. I'm gonna add some Jägermeister to it.
My ex used to make Jaeger bombs, and that brings back triggers for me. So.
All right. Well. So. Let's continue what we were saying there, girl.
I forget now. You had me at the Jaeger bomb or Jaeger. No, I was saying that you had helped me so much. I'm glad that you came out with somebody has actually faced, their trauma in public. Because that is very tough. I mean, even just to face your trauma to somebody else, to tell somebody, and then to go to counseling, and then to come out in public That is huge. That is huge. That's major. And a lot of people understand, but there's a lot of people that don't understand how huge that is. Because I know how that is. You have done more than anyone I know on these YouTube streets just by facing out on YouTube in public. To me, you should have a huge following because of the steps that you have taken. Those are major steps. And if anyone cannot see or feel those steps that have been in that, you know, not your situation, but a type of that situation, should not belong here in this channel. I know I'm not trying to be rude to anybody, but this is real. This is real life.
This is real life. This is fucking real life, people. None of this shit's scripted. None of this shit's made up. None of this shit is fucking fake. This is real fucking life that your children, my children, your grandchildren are fucking going through, everybody. This is real fucking life shit here, man. Sorry, Char, go ahead.
And I just want to tell everybody or anybody that is watching Get to Know's channel, anything that has happened to you, or if nothing has happened to you, I pray for you and everyone. And I'm going to jump down. But thank you for having me, and keep focusing on your mission for your channel and what you, or block that out. You have a purpose, and you know what that purpose is, and keep it going. Okay, bye-bye.
Right. There's Char. All right. So, okay, everybody. What Char said there right at the end is probably the most important message that could have been sent out from this live broadcast today. And that was, this is real life. This is real life. None of this shit's fake. None of it's bullshit. This is real life. So it's a sick, twisted fucking world out there. And if you don't believe it is, if you don't believe it is, then hang on a second. If you don't believe it is, and because maybe you've been blessed and you haven't seen it, but evil things happen in this world every day around you, and people are sick. In real life, innocent people get hurt all the time. I appreciate every single one of you guys that are here in the chat. The 11 of us watching right now, I appreciate every one of you. I'm going to say it again. I know everybody gets sick hearing it, but I do this because you guys give me the strength to continue to do it. Every time I see a new view on any one of my videos, I personally appreciate it, because that just means we are reaching more. We're reaching more and more people every single day. I'm working on it, but this isn't my community. This is our community. Everybody that's here has an equally important role of being here. Everybody that's here, every one of us, that every single time you put a new chat in there, we get stronger. I appreciate that. You guys are so much help in helping me achieve what my therapist and I thought would be a good therapeutic tool for me to do. But literally, even though this is something that I am so passionate about, I would not be able to do this without the Get to Know crew. Straight up. Everybody that's here that's ever left a message, except for the asshole that left the porn bomb. I love you guys, man. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope today greets everybody and blesses everybody with greatness. Keep your kids safe, man. Keep your family safe. Keep yourself safe. I love all you guys, man. This is Get to Know. Tomorrow, I'll probably do another live tomorrow. I don't know. This one's kind of a long one, so it's kind of exhausting. But Outlaw Trucker, Richard Gonzalez, Charlotte's Webbing, Sister Darlene. I love all you guys, man. Robin Banks, you know I always love you too, bro, even though you're not here right now. Sunshine Moonbeams. Love you, girl. Straight up. Beyond the Terror. You got some mad Resident Evil skills, girl. Keep it up. Catlin. Team Rose. I fucking love you, Rose. I know that you didn't make it to this live either. You'll catch one sometime. Maybe you'll get this message. Maybe you won't. But Rose, we love you. And remember, all children on this planet are safe, happy, and healthy. Okay? Remember that first. Number 2, even one child is one too many. Just Get to Know. Have a great day, everybody. Be blessed. Thanks.